Hi, welcome to International Recaps. At the beginning of the film, we see a girl named Darby. She was a drug addict, and that's why she was in a rehab center for her treatment. She was conversing with the other members of her group. Meanwhile, she gets a call from an officer. Your mother is severely ill and will require surgery tonight, the officer informs Darby. He requests that Darby inform her sister about this as well. However, Darby was not allowed to speak by the hospital's medical staff. Because she is a drug addict, everyone believes she is lying. At night, she calls her sister from a girl's phone. Darby's sister says, "I'm so sorry, I'm quite busy and I can't come." At night, when everyone was sleeping, Darby ran away from the hospital. While leaving, she steals a car and drives it into town. When she gets there, she discovers the drug she used. A flashback reveals that she once overdosed on drugs. A policeman approaches her in the interim and asks, "Where are you going?" "You are unable to go forward because the road is closed due to the storm. And I cannot let you go. There is a local visitor center nearby, and you can stay tonight." Darby goes to the visitor center to spend the night. There she meets several folks, including a boy named Ash and his companion. There is a couple in which the wife was a nurse and the husband was a soldier. Because there was less signal access in this area, Darby goes outside to catch the signals. While she was finding the signals, she heard some sounds coming from the van. As Darby looks inside the van through the window, she notices a girl tied up inside. This young girl was asking for help. To help the girl, Darby tries to open the van. However, she couldn't open the van. Darby thinks that this van might belong to those who are sitting inside. That's why Darby informs the girl that I will come to your help. Later, Darby snapped a picture of the van's number plate and enters the car. Later, when she begins to cry, the couple's soldier arrives there. Darby is asked, "Where are you going?" Darby doesn't respond to him. She acts normally and claims not to have seen or known anything. The soldier now invites everyone to play cards. Everyone starts to play cards. Darby learns every detail about each of them throughout this entire process. Who are the nurse, soldier, and kidnapper among them? Darby starts to interrogate them normally. As for where everyone is heading, and from where are they coming? Darby was asking these questions to find the kidnapper among them, who kidnapped the child after tying her up inside the van. When the card games come to an end, Darby learns who the kidnapper is. Actually, Ash's companion was the kidnapper. Ash was the boy who had come here to bring his kidnapper friend here. As Darby learns who the kidnapper is, she becomes confused. And after going into the washroom, she tries to text and call the police. Due to the connection's weak signal, she was unable to call. She later leaves the restroom through the hole. She manages to open the van's lock. She then approaches the girl and tries to set her free. The kidnapper, Ash's friend, arrives there in the meantime. Darby hides behind the seat because of this, so the kidnapper couldn't see her. In the van, the kidnapper spills his rag over the game's loss. He tells the girl that when we get to the uncle's place, everything will be all right. The kidnapper discovers that the girl has removed the cardboard from the window. For this reason, he becomes angry at the girl. He tells the girl later that he's going to bring something to eat for her. "Of course, you might be hungry," and he walks away. When he leaves, Darby tries to free the girl but is unsuccessful in freeing her. As a result, she tells the girl, "I swear I'll come back to help you." She returns to the bathroom. On the other side, the kidnapper, while holding the food packet in his pocket, was moving towards the van. Consequently, he could feed the girl this meal. The soldier, after seeing this, asks him, "Where are you going this time?" The kidnapper informs him, "Actually, I left my phone in the vehicle, and I'm going to take that." The kidnapper moves closer to the van afterward. As he opens the van's lock, the key suddenly falls to the ground. As he bends to take that key, he immediately looks at the footprints. And these footprints were shown from the visitor center, the place where they were all living. On the other side, we see Ash, the kidnapper's companion. He goes into the washroom, and he hears Darby's sound there. "Is that you, Darby?" within, as he calls. Darby brings him inside right away after opening the door. The kidnapper, Ash's friend, arrives during that time. When he sees Darby and Ash together, he goes from there. After his departure, Darby tells Ash that his friend is actually a kidnapper, because he has chained up a girl inside his van. Ash asks after hearing this, "Have you told the police about this?" Darby says, "I've tried many times, but there is no network access here." After hearing this, Ash requests that Darby go outside and save the girl. Darby says, "We can't go because the kidnapper has a gun. We should inform the soldier about this because he is a soldier and he might have the gun." According to Ash, he might not have the gun. "We shouldn't put the soldier in danger. We shouldn't discover any weapons here." Upon searching, they discover a weapon. Darby instructed Ash to flee first when the kidnapper arrives to kill him. "I'll sneak up on him and attack him," and Darby does the same. She approaches the van and tries to free the young girl. As Darby opens her mouth, she inquires where those two men are. Darby believes that there is only one kidnapper. Then why is the girl referring to two persons? It implies that there is someone else who is accompanying the kidnapper. Darby peers outside the van, and Ash comes to the kidnapper. Darby confirms that Ash is the person who is involved with the kidnapper. He laid ash rags on his friend, the kidnapper, by saying that you're careless. Darby has come to know everything about you. After taking the gun, Ash moves in the direction of the van. Meanwhile, Darby flees from the van. Ash follows her and follows the rest home. Then she immediately goes to the restroom. He finds Darby there. Later, we see the kidnapper who had entered the home. The soldier tells his wife and the nurse, I don't like Ash's friend. I hate him, and I think that there's something wrong with him. Later, the soldier asks, where is Darby? After hearing this, the kidnapper replies, I don't know where she is. The soldier and his wife, the nurse, decide to find Darby there. That's why the soldier goes outside and tries to open the van. However, he was unable to open the van, and Ash threatened Darby by showing her a gun. If you tell anyone about anything, I'll kill you and the girl. We kidnapped her for financial reasons. We won't hurt her. In fact, we really need money. Additionally, the girl's father is very wealthy. As soon as the girl's father gives us some cash, we'll send this girl to her house. Later, Ash discovers Darby's sister's texts on her phone. He learns that Darby is a drug addict. When Ash asks Darby about her father, Darby replies that he is no longer alive because he had taken his life. Listen, don't drag the conversation, Ash, and pay close attention to what I say. The girl is really ill and needs medicine. Ash, hearing this, responds that we cannot give many medicines. She suffers from an illness, which means that if she suffers terrible stress, medicine will be given to her. As a result, she'll overdose. Ash again threatens Darby to kill her, and suddenly the nurse, the soldier's wife, arrives there. After seeing the nurse, Ash acts as if he and Darby like each other. Later, Ash departs, and the nurse asks, are you okay? Hearing this, Darby says, yes, I'm fine. Later, they come out from where everyone is sitting. Here, Ash invites Darby to join them. The soldier asks Darby about her father as well. Darby tells him my father was actually a shooter. Here, Ash reveals to everyone the truth about her father's decision to take his own life. At this point, Darby looked outside and noticed the girl exiting the van. Ash notices this as well, so he points to his partner to go outside. He then exits right away, and Darby goes into the bathroom. Later, Ash followed her as well. He grabs Darby and tries to strangle her to death. But Darby somehow manages to escape herself. As the kidnapper comes, he informs Ash that the girl has run away. She isn't in the van. I believe she has gone to the mountain. She won't return our call. Hearing this, Ash claims, but she will come by Darby's call. That's why Ash took Darby and went to the mountain. The kidnapper claims that if our uncle finds out, he'll get upset. Darby asks who this uncle. The kidnapper claims our uncle has adopted Ash and me. We are both brothers and now work for our uncle. After tricking them, Darby tries to flee from them. When Ash notices this, he shoots her, but the bullet misses her. Darby hit a tree and fell. After hearing the sound of gunfire, the soldier comes out to check. He sees the same girl who was found faint there. He immediately brings the girl home. After examining his nurse wife, she says the girl isn't feeling well. Darby succeeds in entering the home after tricking the brothers. After arriving there, she tells the soldier that I know about this girl. Ash and his accomplice kidnapped her. They're both dangerous brothers with guns. Ash and the kidnapper arrive at the rest house. As soon as the soldier sees them, he shuts the door. When Ash and the kidnapper attempt to enter, the soldier says, I know you're pretty dangerous because you have a gun. Later, Ash warns her to pay close attention because the girl is sick. And if she doesn't take her medication at the right time, she could die. And we have that medication. Please take these medicines and feed her. Here, the nurse advises us to accept their offer. Darby and the soldiers disagree, though. Darby informs them that you can't escape from here because I have the keys to your van. Here, the soldier instructs Ash to deliver the medicines to us in exchange for the keys to the van. Ash and his partner realize they don't have the keys. They approach the vehicle, take the gasoline, and then return. Outside of the center, they start to sprinkle the gasoline. The nurse requests them and says, please don't do this because we'll die this way. Let's please move on from this. The soldier informs Darby that they will neither burn the fire nor go. So hide the van's keys. He then hands over the key to his own car. Here, Ash asks him to hand them the girl, so we'll let you go. But the soldier doesn't agree with him. Darby hides those keys and keeps some tools with her as a weapon. She also provides the soldier with some tools. Ash ignites the matchstick and warns them to give the girl to them. Otherwise, I'll light the fire. The nurse tells the soldier to do it because they will burn us to death. We should give them the girl. The soldier asks his wife, why are you feeling frightened? Don't worry, they won't hurt us. In the meantime, the girl awakens and recognizes the nurse. Here, we see the flashback scene. the nurse who once cared for this girl and worked at her home. This girl used to tease the nurse, even though she disregarded her. That's why the nurse helped Ash and his partner kidnap the girl. They don't have the girl's medicines. They call the nurse and ask her to deliver her medicines, and warns her that we won't give you any share if you don't bring the medicines. For that reason, she came here in that dreadful storm with her husband, and she could provide the girl's medication to both of them. The nurse informs Ash that her husband, the soldier, doesn't have any guns and he is lying. Later, the nurse sprays Darby with pepper spray. Seeing this, the soldier asks, "Why are you doing this?" The nurse explains that we've spent all our savings and have no money for survival. Upon hearing this, he said, "You would have informed me, I would have given you money, and everything would have been good." In the meantime, Ash and the kidnapper enter the house, and the nurse gives the girl an injection, which helps her recover. Later, the nurse assures the soldier that the girl won't be hurt and that she will reach her home safely. Upon hearing this, Darby said, "I don't think she'll return home safely. I don't believe these brothers will send her home, because they're smugglers." The nurse becomes astonished when she hears this. She requests that Ash call the girl's father, who will pay you triple the amount instead of double. As everything was decided, Ash knew where to take this girl. He asks for the van's keys, and the soldier replies, "I don't have any keys." He warns the soldier with his gun. The nurse who saw this says it is not my husband's fault, and Darby may have kept the keys elsewhere. The soldier requests Darby not to tell them anything about the keys. After hearing this, Ash becomes so enraged that he shoots the soldier and kills him. As soon as the nurse notices this, she starts to pepper spray Ash as well. But when the kidnapper approaches, the spray enters his eyes. As a result, Ash shoots the nurse and murders her. He asks Darby for the keys once more. When Darby refuses to give her the keys, he fixes her hands to the wall with a nail gun. As a result, Darby feels terrible agony, and she cries a lot. The kidnapper tells Ash, "I can't see anything because my eyes are burning." From there, Ash takes him to wipe his eyes. When they both leave, Darby tries to free her, but she was in such severe pain that she could not free herself. For this reason, she calls the girl nearby and asks her to give her the hammer. In the meantime, as she was handing her the hammer, Ash and his partner arrived there. Darby immediately hides the hammer. Darby receives a message on her phone that her mother has passed away. Ash shows these messages to Darby. Ash discovers that the texts she was attempting to send to the police, they were delivered to the police because of internet access. This causes the kidnapper to grow alarmed and perplexed. Here, Ash asks Darby for the keys. Darby declines to hand over the keys. This time, he threatens to shoot the girl's hand with a nail gun. The girl starts crying in fear. The kidnapper stops Ash from doing this, but he doesn't pay attention to his friend. Finally, Darby tells him where the keys are kept. Ash hands the gun to his kidnapper friend and asks him to stay there. He requests that if any one of them acts inappropriately, you can shoot and kill them. He then goes outside to look for the keys. On the other side, we can see the police approaching the center. The kidnapper assures the girl that everything will be all right. Darby looks around and asks the girl to turn off the lights. Even though she was terrified, she went up to turn off the lights. The kidnapper notices that she is getting up and asks her to sit down. She doesn't listen to the kidnapper and goes to turn off the lights. The kidnapper later threatens her, saying, "I'll murder you." The girl turned off the light, and as the lights turned off, Darby immediately pulls the nails from her hand with the help of the hammer. As the kidnapper turns on the light, Darby uses a hammer to hit him in the face. Ash finds the keys. He hears a gunshot and goes inside to check. He sees his partner at gunpoint. Ash shows Darby his nail gun and threatens her. In the meantime, the kidnapper asks Darby not to fire the weapon. Suddenly, the girl hits Ash's hand with a hammer. By accident, a nail was driven into the kidnapper's forehead. As a result, the kidnapper becomes extremely worried. Ash approaches him and assures him that nothing will harm you. After taking the girl, Darby goes out and gets into the car. On the other hand, Ash was coming out with the kidnapper. Unexpectedly, the kidnapper's foot slipped and he fell. As a result, the nail was completely inserted into his forehead. He passes away right there. After seeing this, Ash becomes heartbroken and ragged as well. For this reason, he goes out and punctures Darby's car tire. As a result, the car becomes unbalanced and crashes. When Ash attempts to murder Darby using a nail gun, the cops arrive. The police ask him to surrender, and Darby slowly comes out. Darby shoots Ash, leading the police officer to believe Darby is a criminal. The police officer fired at her, and she collapsed. In the meantime, Ash grabs the nearby gun and shoots the police. He then approaches Darby with the intent to shoot her, but the gun was out of bullets. Later, Ash came with the nail gun to kill Darby. She stuck a screwdriver in his neck. Ash's game thus ends up there. The girl was observing everything while sitting in the car. Later, Darby approaches the policeman and uses his radio to ask for help. After some time, we see Darby at the rehab center. We can view some of this girl's drawings there. That means Darby was still in touch with the young girl. Darby's sister shows up later to meet her. After seeing her, Darby feels happy and emotional. This movie ends here. Make sure to subscribe and turn on notifications so you can watch more videos like this. Thanks for watching.